prehensile, so kind of like a finger. Things that tear leaves off of bushes and trees. There's your copy. Also, you're making your way towards a watering hole. Good place to find some more animals. Everyone needs a drink of water every now and then. We're gonna see what we can find. Oh, up ahead here to our left, there's a black rhino lying down. Now, pretty lucky to see a black rhino. There are less than 5,000 of them left in the world. They're posed for their horns, which is made of the same thing that makes up human fingernails and hair, keratin. Now, they're actually a little bit smaller than white rhinos. They only weigh about 3,000 pounds. Yeah, I know, only. So, if we do get to see any white rhinos today, you might notice they're a little bit bigger than that black rhino we just saw. Up on the hill here to our right, there's some antelope, dark brown, almost a caramel colored. These are called bongos. Now, the striped sides back up the bongos help them camouflage in the surroundings, often give them the nickname, the ghost of the forest. The light tan antelope lying down in the bushes, you can just kind of see its head sticking out there. That's an greater kudu. Might see some more, let's keep on going. The greater kudu are the second tallest antelope species, lives here on the reserve. They can grow to be about 55 inches up to the shoulder. Also here to our left is a big black and white bird. It's called a saddle-billed stork. One of the tall stork species. They can grow to be about 5 feet tall and have a wingspan of about 9 feet. How about the width of the canopy on this truck? We're going to make our way now to the Safi River. Here in the Safi River, we might get to see one of the most dangerous animals in all of Africa, the hippopotamus. Now, what makes hippos so dangerous is that they are extremely territorial. Their teeth can grow to be about 18 inches long. There's a couple there in the water to our right. Now, even though they have those really big teeth, they're herbivores. They only eat plants. They'll even walk about 6 miles a night to get all the food that they need. There's some more hippos here to our left as well. They can hold their breath for about 8 minutes. They can even sleep under the water. They'll just subconsciously come up for air every 8 minutes or so. And a group of hippos is called a bloat. A bloat of hippos. Now, the big white birds on the islands are pink-backed pelicans. I got that name because it's believed that during mating season their backs would turn pink. But actually their backs are always pink. Just during mating season they become much more vibrant, kind of like us blushing. And they have a wingspan of about 7 to 8 feet. We're gonna see what's just around the river bend. To our left, looks like we found a basque of Nile crocodiles. That's what a group of them is called, a basque. They can grow to about 20 feet long. They can hold their breath for about 2 hours if they're inactive and not moving under the water. They're actually really good parents. When their babies hatch, the moms keep the babies in their mouths until they're old enough and strong enough to adventure out on their own. Now, you might start to notice a change in our surroundings as we leave the river and forest and make our way to the Serengeti Savannah. There'll be a lot less trees, a lot less bushes, a lot more grass. But speaking of trees, looks like we'll be passing a really big tree here to our right called the baobab tree, also known as the upside down tree. They only have leaves about 3 months out of the year. They can live to be a couple thousand years old. They're also known as the Tree of Life. And with that, looks like we've now officially entered the plains of the savannah. One of my favorite views on the whole reserve. Good place to find some more animals. I've even seen some babies out here. Oh, there's a baby. That zebra there to our right is one of the baby zebras. As a Hartman Mountain Zebra, I can tell because stripes don't go all the way across their bellies. And of course, there's a giraffe to our right. One of the tallest animals in the world. They can grow to be about 20 feet tall. When they're born, they're already about 6 feet tall. There's some more giraffes up ahead as well. Now the giraffes we'll be seeing are Maasai giraffes. I can tell because their markings are random sizes like a jigsaw puzzle. No two Maasai giraffes will ever have the same markings. To our left, there's a den. Let's see if anything's hanging out. Looks like inside the den, there's a small pack of painted dogs. One of the most successful hunters in all of Africa. They get their prey about 90% of the time. They're so successful because they work together as a pack when hunting. They're led by an alpha male and an alpha female that work together to run the pack. Unlike domesticated dogs, these dogs only have 4 toes. Now to our left, there are some dark brown antelope, long curved horns. Those are sable antelope, the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. That's because they won't back down from anything or any fight. When they're resting, they'll face different directions. That way they're always looking out for each other and watching each other's backs. There's some more giraffes up ahead. A group of giraffes is called a tower. A tower of giraffes. They actually have the same amount of vertebrae in their necks that we do. 7. Theirs are just really, really big. Hi, buddy. Unfortunately, I cannot stop, but it's a little too close to the road for me to do so safely, and it's walking towards us. Get ready to look at those ossicones on top of their heads, like we were talking about with the male okapis back in the forest. And giraffes tend to only sleep about 30 to 45 minutes a day. They're supposed to be eating or looking for food. And the chances are we'll see some more giraffes as we keep on going. If you look on top of the hill to our right, there's some grayish antelope. Those are wildebeest. They actually travel one of the largest herds across the savannah. During their great migration, they'll give birth to their young. Their newborn babies will have about 15 minutes to learn how to run to keep up with the herd, or else they're left behind. Life is tough out here in the savannah. Also to our right, there's a small little antelope with a white belly. A couple of them. These are springbok. They get the names they can spring about 13 feet forward and 1 pound, called pronking. Really fun to watch. Now those are actually fully grown. They're not babies, only weigh 100 pounds each. Their coloration's kind of fun, kind of reminds me of s'mores. Marshmallow on the bottom, chocolate in the middle, graham cracker on top. Cute little antelope. Underneath the palm trees to our right, there's some cows with really big horns. These are Ankole cattle. One of the only domesticated animals lives here on the reserve. Their great big horns can grow to be about 6 feet long. Might look really heavy, but they're actually semi-hollow, and they flow blood through their horns to cool down. To our right is a baby giraffe, only a few months old. Now, there's actually 2 baby giraffes. The other one's probably nearby. They're born roughly around the same time. So they're best buddies, best pals. They always hang out together. Hi, baby giraffe. But I don't see the other baby. Huh. Now, looks like there's some falling down trees up ahead. Pretty good sign. We're making our way to elephant country. Elephants are known as the bulldozers of Africa. If they don't like where a tree is, they'll just knock it down. Or if they want to get to these branches from high above, they'll knock the tree down as well. We can sometimes find elephants near this watering hole to our right. Typically, they're males. Some bulls, so we're gonna see if we can see any. Oh yeah, way across the way, there's a great big elephant. Probably a male, a bull. Once males become teenagers, they leave their herd to go off on their own little adventure, either by themselves or with other males forming bachelor herds. We're going to see it again up ahead. There's another clearing to our right. Oop. One of the males leave the herd, though. They don't leave it too far behind in case they ever need to find it again. So another good sign they're making their way to elephant country should just be up ahead. Now out here in Africa, elephants will walk around searching for food. They'll encounter farmers and the crops the farmers laid out. The elephants will either eat the crops or walk on them, destroying them. And that led the farmers to start hunting the elephants. But what research covered though here is that elephants don't like bees. So they invented a living fence with beehives. They gave those beehive fences to the farmers to put around their crops. That way, when the elephants got near, they'd hear and see the bees and quickly run away. The farmers stopped hunting the elephants, which is most important, but the farmers were also able to sell the honey the bees made for extra money. So win-win all around, but most importantly, the elephants are safe. To our right, there's some tusk marks in the red clay. Elephants love to eat the red clay to get nutrients they don't get from the rest of their diet, like a multivitamin. Good sign the herd might be nearby. They usually like to hang out near the big baobab tree up ahead to our left. Well, here's a couple elephants. The elephants live in a matriarchy, so the oldest female runs the herd, and they're the second longest childhood, second to that of humans. Hey, there's three little baby elephant to our left. She just turned 4 years old not too long ago. I remember when she was born, she was such a small little baby elephant. She's so cute. Like I said earlier, the males leave the herd, so whenever you see a herd of elephants, especially a herd with babies like this one, all of the adults are female, and they all work together to raise the babies. Normally, when we see the elephants, they're eating. They do have to eat a lot of food. On average, elephants will eat about 300 pounds of food a day. That's a lot of leaves, branches, and small trees. Now, up ahead here to our left, looks like we found a flamboyance of greater flamingos. Yeah, that's what a group is called, a flamboyance. Now, they actually have some babies with them. They're the black and white flamingos. They haven't quite turned pink yet. They're just starting to. They get their pink coloration from their diet of beta-carotene or brine shrimp. So, the older they get, the pinker they become. And greater flamingos are actually the lightest pink-colored flamingo species. And they're actually laying on 7 eggs right now. A little cluster in Mickey's ear. We're going to head a little deeper in the savannah now, make our way, see what else we can find. Now off to our left, you might notice some mud holes. Pretty good sign there might be some rhinos nearby. Rhinos will roll around in the mud. They use it as a natural sunscreen to protect their skin both from the sun and from any biting insects that might live out here. I really hope we can see some rhinos. They're my favorite animal and I love them. Up ahead though to our left, we're going to look extra careful so we can find any cheetahs. They love to hide, and the markings help them camouflage into their surroundings. So we're going to see if we can find any. Now, cheetahs are one of the fastest land mammals that can run about 60 miles per hour. Their claws don't retract with the weight, acts like a natural cleat. And their tails are extra big and heavy. Use the tail change direction when they are going at those top speeds. Now, if you look to the left, the far right, that's their favorite corner way back there in the distance up on the hill. That's where I think they're going to be. Group of cheetahs is called a coalition. Coalition of cheetahs. I think I see a couple here to our left in that corner. Now, actually, large cat that still purrs, and then larger than cheetah can't and won't purr. And they don't roar, they chirp like a bird. And also going to make your way towards a large rock formation, also known as a kopie. We can sometimes find lions in a kopies, but lions are inactive about 20 hours. Oh, but there they are. And they are inactive about 20 hours out of the day, and they're nocturnals. We're actually really lucky. There's a male and a female. Oh, and two females here to our left. Now the females will do the hunting for the pride, and the males will stay back and protect the cubs and young ones. Alright, so of course the group of lions is called a pride. Now the reason they're nocturnal is because during the day their eyesight's about the same as ours, but at night their eyesight is about 6 times better, and they want to use that to their advantage. The Swahili word for lion is Simba, a name we should all know, Simba. And a lion's roar can be heard from about 6 miles away. Now the little antelope to our right in the road is a bontebok. They used to be almost extinct. About 100 years ago, there are only about 20 of them left in the world. But thanks to conservation, the numbers have increased and they're able to live out in the wild again. We're going to better look at that bontebok. Let's keep on going. We're keep on looking at these lions. So she might want to yawn. I'm kind of surprised they're still awake. It's way past their bedtime. Bye-bye, Simba. See you around. Have a good nap. Up ahead here to our left, there's some burrows. These probably belong to some warthogs. They use your sounds and tusks to dig up these burrows. If they find one, they'll just take it over. And like this warthog is doing in the last burrow of the far right, they'll back up into them with their tusks out to stay safe. They can run about 35 miles per hour. When they are running, their tails are straight up in the air like a flag, just like Pumbaa. See that bontebok again to our right. Also to our right on the ground in the grass, there are some eggs. These are ostrich eggs. Each one's eggs weighs about 3 pounds. One ostrich egg equals about 2 dozen chicken eggs. You can stand on top of one of those eggs and they won't break. They're that strong. And it looks like we're going to be leaving the savannah, making our way to the last part of the reserve, the Magadi Glen. It's actually where the warden has set up a new post out here in the reserve to be a little bit closer to the animals in case they're ever needed. That's in partnership with the Harambe Wildlife Reserve and the nearby Harambe Village. The warden has gotten a small herd of Nigerian dwarf goats. See them here to our left. And these are actually highly valued animals out here in Africa and throughout the entire world, thanks to the milk that they produce, which is actually kind of sweet and very nutritious. So, farmers out here in Africa are able to sell the goat's milk at local villages, help support their families, or they'll drink it themselves. And the goats will eat the weeds and plants that other larger animals are unable to reach because of their size. Also, because of their size, they don't need a whole lot of space to run around and play. When they are playing, it's actually how they establish their dominance to figure out who's in charge of their little herd. Now, if you like these animals and want to help those that live a little closer to home, I recommend putting in a bird bath to help your local birds. Or if you have a bug problem, I recommend putting in a bat box. In one feeding, bats will eat about 10,000 bugs, and they love mosquitoes. And if there are any wilderness explorers in this truck, you've been riding the Simba 1. SIMBA1. You can use your badge at the front of the safari entrance at the white umbrellas. And folks, take a moment to double check your rows, double check your pockets, make sure you collect all your personal belongings. You don't want to leave it here in Toronto Bay. It'd be a really long walk back to Africa if you do. Also, there's a little bit of a traffic jam going on up ahead. I do appreciate your patience. Now, since we are stopped way back here, when we eventually do start moving, look at the second waterfall to our left. It's actually designed to look like an elephant. Actually, one of my favorite features here on the reserve. Every time I drive past it, I like to look at it just for a quick second. So we should be moving, so see if you can see the elephant. If you use your imagination a little bit.